Hello and welcome. My name is Lorrayne and this is Living Your Best Life, the channel for starseeds, lightworkers, and all who are on the Ascension pathway. So today in our series of symptoms of Ascension, I've been getting a lot of comments and questions and internigglings about talking about a subject which is not something that I guess I do on an esoteric level, but I don't really address head on. And today I want to address it head on. The concept is entity attachments. Now, I believe that we are the creators of our reality and we attract to us that which we are in energetic resonance to. And if we are on the Ascension pathway and we are doing all of the things, the recommendations, the thoughts, the suggestions of how to raise our frequency, lower energy beings and entities just aren't within our field. I do a lot of meditations where we clear our energetic fields and our physical body, where we've cleared contracts, agreements, all of that. Through those processes, you should be able, I don't like the shoulds or the coulds or the woulds. Through those processes, you have tools and techniques that assist you in releasing and letting go. But here's the thing, the critical component. You can do all the clearing and the releasing that you want. You can do it every minute of every day should you choose. But if your resonant frequency is at a lower tone that is of a matching frequency to these things that you do not want, meaning if you're focusing on all the negative, if you're immersing yourself in news and information from the external reality that is not what you want in your world, you are lowering your frequency and you are making yourself available to energies, entities that could come in and hang out with you. Because as a light worker, a star being, a person on the Ascension path, you are making conscious effort to raise your frequency, and there are beings that are attracted to that. But if you keep yourself clear, they have no space to dwell. So, entity attachments can be a number of things. They're not necessarily what we think of as a fully realized being. They can be, but they can be a number of other things. For instance, fear is an energetic. It can be called an entity and it can dwell within us. We can choose to clear these things out of our frequency. I have a technique that can be used. Now, it's not a technique that I need to use at this point in my spiritual development, but it is a really useful tool for those who are newly on their path and they have not yet been able to fine tune their awareness so that they know what is in their field. I've showed you before this applied kinesiology technique to test a myriad of things. Well, you can use it to determine entity attachments. This is how you do it. So again, you're making a circle with your hands, you're joining your forefinger and your thumb, you're holding that joined tight, and you're going to test it first. You're going to make sure it's strong. So anything that would weaken it or cause it to split, to break apart, is counter to your body's knowing, or the highest and best good for your body. That which keeps it strong is beneficial. Or you could look at it this way. A negative response would split, a positive response would hold. So I make statements to the body. I never ask a question. Questions can have nebulous answers. A statement can either be true or not true. We want to be very clear and concise so that we don't get confused and have a nebulous understanding. So to determine entity attachments, you would make a statement that says, this body has one or more entity attachments. Now, my body doesn't, because I do a morning ritual, which I will share after this discussion. But you would just do one or more, two or more, three or more, and test. And the minute it splits, you know you've gone beyond the number, okay? So for instance, I'm going to show you my body, and I'm going to move back in time. I'm going to tell my body that we're going to test entity attachments 20 years in my past. 20 years in my past. So at age 41. This body has one or more entity attachments, two or more entity attachments, three or more entity attachments, four or more, five or more, six or more, seven. This body has 6 entity attachments. Okay, so at my age 42, my body had 6 entity attachments. Now, you can further define what those are if you want or need. Dis-ease in the body is perceived by the body as an entity attachment. It could be caused by a negative energy that has attached itself to you. And you can even determine through this technique how long that entity attachment or negative energy has been residing or within your field. This technique, once you learn it, can be used for a whole myriad of things. And I highly encourage you to practice with it. So, at age 42, I did have a lot of disease, illness, sickness. Now, I still am working through dis-ease in my physical body. But what I have learned is that there are purposes for this, for my spiritual growth and my movement forward. I'm not focused on that anymore. And as you saw at present day, entity attachments, no. So present day, I've cleared out any negative energies that would be hindering my return to well-being. I've cleared out any negative energies that would cause any physical or mental, emotional, or spiritual disruptions. So, this technique can be used to determine how many energy disruptions you have in your body, and we're just calling them entities because they can actually be entities. The meaning of entity, an outside external energy that could be, ghosts, alien, anything that you would perceive as an entity can be an energy that has attached itself to you. If you're not doing your daily cleansing maintenance, you can leave yourself open to energies. Now, not all of these energies are malevolent or wanting to cause you harm. They're just seeking the light and they don't want to do the work for themselves, or they're disembodied and just don't know how to get out, right? They recognize you as a light being and potentially something that could assist them. And we can assist them, but we don't need to let them into our field or our physical body. So these energies need to be released, and we want to do it in a loving and a harmonious way. We are not going to perceive that we're not going to label them as negative. We're just going to label them as not ours, not of our light. So here's the technique that I do every day. I wake up and I say, I do not consent, I do not consent, I do not consent to any energies that are not of my life residing in my field. That's step number 1. You say, I do not consent 3 times. You make sure that you state that the energies that are not of your light and that they have no right or authority to reside within your field. I spread that out to my living space as well. Next step. I open my stellar gateway, which is, about 3 feet above your head. And I ask the divine light of source through the great central sun, through our sun portal, to pour into my crown chakra. I bring that light all the way down to the Earth Star, which is about 3 feet below your feet. I pull that light all the way down, and I fill up a column of light within my beingness, and then I intend for that to be moved out from my core through all of my energetic fields. Now, our energetic fields at this present day are very large. So expand that light in a 360 pattern all the way around, out through your field. And as you do, intend anything that is not of your light to be cleared and removed. I send it back to its place of origin. This way it can get home. Many of them are just trying to get home and they don't know any other way. So I do this. This is like taking a shower. You're just cleansing and clearing your energy field, all directions. Step number 3. I intend a giant sphere all the way around my energy field, and remember, they're very large now, of white light, ice, and fire. Now, why ice and fire? Ice neutralizes energetic noise. The noise that's just everywhere. So, ice neutralizes noise. And fire burns anything that would come into your field before it can get to you. I put this all around me. And on top of that, I put a mirror, a shiny, silvery, sparkly mirror that faces outward, keeping anything out of my field. And then I do a whole myriad of other energetics. Like, I really like the rose gold. And here's another one. If you're going to be around people that have, done the thing, you're going to want to keep anything from them entering your field. So you want to put up an energetic field that keeps and filters all of that so it does not come and affect you. Now, if you're going to be around people that you're uncertain of or that you feel might not have your best interest at heart, you have to go out into the greater world and be exposed, particularly in cities. I encourage you on the outside of your mirror shield, well, maybe put it on the inside of your mirror. Yeah, that would be better. Makes more logical sense to me. Put something called a death shroud. It's kind of like if you ever watched the Harry Potter series, it's a cloak of invisibility. Basically, you become invisible to anything that would want to come into your field. Now remember, you don't keep this on all the time. Would not be a good idea. But whenever you have to go out and you're not in your sacred space, put it on. Keep it on. Make yourself invisible to any of those entities that you would not want to come into your field. Now, I always, when I leave my house, I always repeat the I do not consent. Step number 1. I do not consent. I do not consent to any energies that are not of my light entering my field. Also, if you sense an energy around you, you can make this statement. You are of my light. You are of my light. You are of my light. If you hear yes, then that energy is of your light and you may want to interact with it. If you hear no, it must answer. Then you want to cast it out and send it back to its place of origin. You do not consent. Okay, step number 4. So you've shielded yourself, you've cleaned your energy fields. I do this every morning. Step number 4. You're shielded, you're cleared. You want to ground yourself into the new earth diamond Christed light template. Feel your energetic roots going into the new Christed diamond light, new earth, new Terra template and fully rooting in. Feel yourself connected and then feel yourself connected to all light workers. This will give you that sense of community, that sense of peace, that sense of knowing. So you're clearing your energy field of all potential negative energy entity attachments every single day. And step 5 is you repeat before you go to bed. This way, while you're sleeping, because we are all astral traveling, let me tell you, you're protecting yourself as you're doing the work on behalf of the greater humanity in your dream state. Always consider that you are a sacred divine space. Do not let anything that is not of your light enter your field. There's another statement. If you are feeling attacked, now I haven't felt attacked. It's not something that, I'm aware. I can actually tune in to negative energy entities and I can keep them at bay and I can observe and all that stuff. But I'm not that curious about them. I don't want to engage. I don't want to, there are some people that find that intriguing. I'm not sure why you would want to engage in a negative energy. I have done battle, and I'm telling you, I have done some battle. But it's not my propensity nor my interest to do so. And unless you have the skill and the training and the understanding, I encourage you to not engage. But if you feel that you are being visited, for instance, we can have visitors that come and try to impart knowledge and information. This is where that question, are you of my light? Ask 3 times. For instance, I've had visitors in my bedroom, and I've asked, and sometimes they say yes. Sometimes I hear no. They don't answer, but I hear no, that it's not of my light. I make the statement, I abjure all evil. That is a very biblical, very ancient way of defining your space and casting out evil 3 times. You always say something 3 times and say it with force. But here's the other thing, because most of these beings that we're seeing now are really just trying to get home. They're trying to get energy and they don't know how to get it for themselves. If we cast them out and send them back to their place of origin, where do you think we're sending them? What's your place of origin? We're all of the same origin. We're sending them back to source. This is a powerful tool and technique that will help you to feel clear and cleansed and whole and healthy and safe. Is there anything else I want to say about this? I think that if you incorporate this practice in your morning and nightly routine, you will be amazed at how clear you feel. Now, back to this technique. You've identified that you have these entity attachments. Once you're done with your cleansing process, where you're bringing in the core light of source through the great central sun and our sun, and moving it through your entire energy field, you can check again and say, there are 1 or more, 2 or more, whatever, and see if you've cleared them out. If you haven't cleared them out, you can make the statement, this energy has something to teach me. And if you get a yes or a positive, strong result, then you can go into meditation and you can find out more. But remember, you want to make sure that it's of your light, because you don't want to be listening to something that isn't of your light. I'm telling you, they will manipulate, they will maneuver, they will mess with your mind, and they will make you think that they are this higher intelligent being and that you're channeling something benevolent and really good. Always make sure that they are of your light. Okay, so I encourage you to try these techniques. I encourage you to really do the self-care and maintenance that is necessary as a being of light, especially in these times. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. That really helps the greater community have these tools and techniques and protect, because the more of us that are taking care of ourselves and the greater world around us, the better off we all are. I wish you a beautiful day. Until next time, my name is LorRayN.